Exposed my wife and her affair partner after she opened our marriage and cheated. Hey Reddit. When my wife, Lisa, first suggested opening our marriage, I was blindsided. We'd been married for 8 years, and while no marriage is perfect, I thought we were solid. Sure, we had our ups and downs, but who doesn't? So when she brought up the idea of exploring other connections, I froze. She claimed it wasn't about dissatisfaction but about curiosity and personal growth. I hesitated. I didn't want to lose her, so against every instinct, I agreed. We set boundaries. Rules were established to make this work. Honesty was at the top of the list. No sneaking around, no lying, no prioritizing others over our marriage. It was supposed to be an adventure together, something we could discuss openly. Or so I thought. At first, it was awkward. I didn't even want to explore other options, but Lisa dove in headfirst. She started going out more often, dressing up, and coming home late. When I asked her about her experiences, she was vague. She'd wave it off, saying things like it was just dinner or a harmless conversation. I tried to trust her. I really did. Then came the late nights. She'd stay out until 2 or 3 in the morning, claiming her phone had died or she lost track of time. I wasn't stupid. Something wasn't adding up. One night, she came home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. I asked her point blank if she was seeing someone. She laughed and called me paranoid. My gut told me otherwise. It wasn't until I found a receipt for a hotel room in her purse that my suspicions were confirmed. The receipt was dated for a night she claimed to be out with her girlfriends. My heart sank. Confronting her felt like staring down a storm. She admitted it immediately but twisted the knife by blaming me for not being adventurous enough. She said I was holding her back and that the open marriage was supposed to fix that. Fix what? I didn't even know we were broken. I wanted to end things right there, but Lisa begged me to stay. She promised she'd end it with the other guy and focus on us. Stupidly, I believed her. I wanted to believe her. For a few weeks, things seemed to get better. She was home more often and acting like the woman I fell in love with. But the trust was gone, and I couldn't shake the feeling that she was hiding something. So I started digging. I know, snooping isn't the most honorable thing, but I needed answers. I checked her phone when she left it unlocked. There were messages between her and a man named Mark. Explicit messages. Plans to meet up. Jokes about how clueless I was. My blood boiled. It wasn't just an affair. It was a joke to them. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I decided to gather evidence. If she was going to humiliate me, I'd make sure she couldn't deny it. I screenshotted the messages, forwarded them to myself, and started keeping track of her movements. She'd tell me she was meeting her sister, and I'd follow her to a hotel or a restaurant where she'd meet Mark. It was like a twisted game of hide and seek, except I wasn't playing. After weeks of this, I was ready. I planned everything meticulously. Lisa had a habit of leaving her laptop logged in. One night, while she was out, I opened her email and found a treasure trove of correspondence between her and Mark. Hotel bookings, suggestive photos, love letters. It was all there. I copied everything onto a flash drive. But I wasn't done. I wanted to expose them both in a way they'd never forget. Mark was married too, and I found his wife's contact information. I debated whether to reach out. Was it my place to ruin another family? In the end, I decided she deserved to know the truth. I sent her an email with screenshots of their messages and photos of them together, along with a note apologizing for the pain this would cause. Then came the final act. Lisa was hosting a dinner party for some friends, and I knew Mark would be there. She introduced him to me once as a coworker. The audacity. I waited until the evening was in full swing before making my move. I stood up and tapped my glass, pretending I had a toast to make. I started by talking about trust and loyalty. I could see Lisa growing uncomfortable. Then I pulled out the flash drive and said I had a slideshow to share. I plugged it into the TV, and the room fell silent as the screen lit up with photos of Lisa and Mark together. Messages flashed across the screen, revealing their affair in black and white. Lisa screamed at me to stop, but I kept going. I turned to Mark and asked him how his wife was doing. He went pale. One of the guests tried to defuse the situation, but I wasn't done. I told everyone in the room exactly what had been happening and how they'd both betrayed their spouses. People started leaving, uncomfortable and shocked. Lisa was crying by the end of it. Mark stormed out, muttering something about me being crazy. I felt a twisted sense of satisfaction. They'd humiliated me in secret, so I returned the favor in public. The fallout was brutal. Lisa begged me for forgiveness, but I was done. I filed for divorce the next day. Mark's wife thanked me for telling her the truth, and she filed for divorce too. Lisa moved out shortly after, leaving me alone in the house we built together. It hurt, but it was also a relief. Now, months later, I'm rebuilding my life. Therapy has helped, and I've started focusing on myself for the first time in years. Lisa tried reaching out recently, claiming she's changed and wants to try again. I didn't respond. Some bridges are meant to stay burned. As for Mark, last I heard, his life fell apart too. His wife took the kids and the house, and he's been trying to pick up the pieces. I don't feel sorry for him. He made his bed, and now he has to lie in it. Looking back, I can't believe how blind I was. But I've learned something valuable from this nightmare: never settle for someone who doesn't value you. If someone truly loves you, they won't need to look elsewhere. And if they do, they're not worth your time. To anyone going through something similar, know this: you're stronger than you think. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not enough. Because you are. That's all for today's video, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time for more exciting content. See you next time.